I think from a value standpoint, I would have to say it adds a sense of differentiation. I mean, I think that we're all going after an MBA degree for a variety of reasons, but I think a lot of the overarching theme is we want to differentiate ourselves from everyone else that's out there. We want to be able to take those learnings and apply them to be better at our jobs, right, or our careers. And so I think that a lot of us look at an MBA program in general and say it's differentiated by maybe what school you go to, right? And St. Thomas has a great, reputation in that right. But then when you can also say, I did this seminar, I don't think that there's too many other programs out there that can give you that kind of experience. And so when you do sit down with interviews or you do sit down with networking opportunities, you can bring that up and discuss it in a way that says, this is what some of the top CEOs from some of the top countries around the world go through, is this type of a seminar. And I think that's something that sets yourself apart from a lot of other people who have done an MBA program in general. I would say another big one is again, one of the values of going through an MBA program is the networking opportunity. And I think that the friendships that you build through a process like this and the relationships that you build in the process like this is something that lasts a lot longer than maybe someone that's in a class with you for a semester. Especially going through the evening program myself, is you only see these people for very short snippets of time. So you only have so much time to really, network and build those relationships. Whereas with this, I mean, I can honestly say that most of the people that I went through the Great Book Seminar with are also people that I continue to keep in touch with and network with moving forward.
It's a whole nother aspect to the business curriculum. As I said before, we sort of focus on numbers, projects, this, that, or the other, and we lose sight of ourselves, or maybe even sometimes the people aspect of business. And a lot of times in business, we deal with ethical issues or dilemmas, or we're weighing this versus that, and the seminar kind of helps you dive into some tools and materials that are very beneficial and helpful when you're put in those situations. When I'm in accounting, we don't necessarily talk about ethical dilemmas and what you should do if this situation arises. In the Great Book Seminar, we talk about ethics, we talk about justice, equality, and those sort of values in society, so that when you find yourself in a business situation or whatever situation it may be, you've kind of done that you've had that conversation with yourself internally, so you know where you stand on certain values. So when those situations arise in the business world, you have a much more clear conscience about which course of action you decide to take.
That was one of the challenges, I think, of coming back, and especially with law students who are all like, well, how's this going to help me in practice? And the way I sort of described it, again, was like an intellectual retreat in a lot of ways. And it was also a way to kind of take a step back and see, why am I learning the things that I'm learning? Why is it that I'm so focused on being an excellent practitioner in law or an excellent business student or something like that? In the wider context of my life and in the wider sort of application to who I am as a person, how do I really want to be a professional? How do I want to live out my professional life and that sort of thing? It's sort of, to me, a synthesis of, your principles as an individual and your training as an excellent professional. It sort of brings it all together and synthesizes it in a way that really you don't get with, a contracts class or a torts class or, criminal law or something like that. I guess I would say, coming from law, I tend to be a fairly skeptical person. You always view things with this, well, is this really what it seems? And like, what's really going on here? And sort of what are the other angles of this sort of thing? And I guess I would just say it's really, to go into the Great Book Seminar with that much skepticism and to come out with so much buy-in is really a testament to how powerful the experience was. And I guess I would just encourage anybody who's thinking about it to, go for it and leave some of that skepticism behind and really trust in the process, because it's an amazing process.